Hey guys, what's going on? Hopefully you can hear us okay. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me and Lance. And welcome, Keith. I see you just left a comment. So Keith is saying, let's see, if we do a significant downturn in the economy, how will that affect these selling positions? What sort of stop losses do people lose? Yeah, we'll talk about this. We'll have plenty of time for questions about these selling positions. I went through a period where the market just went down and down and down, Keith, and it was totally fine. So we'll talk about that for sure. I'm going to show my results. We're going to talk about the whole of 2023. It's going to be a really fun night. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Just want to do a brief introduction. So you guys that are watching this first time round, it's going to be on my own channel. So my name is Russell, and I'm presenting on Stock Alerts Reviewed YouTube. But we're going to run this on ThetaTraderz channel as well with Lance. So I'm just going to make this the full screen at the moment. So let me put the full screen on here so we can talk about what ThetaTraderz is really quickly before we launch into the full presentation. So ThetaTraderz is run by Lance, and he basically sells options on equities, indices, and also on futures, and is one of the best trading services that I've ever come across. And I'm glad, by the way, Aaron's posting he's excited to learn. And so this is one of the best sell-side services, or even buy-side services, honestly, like that I've ever come across. So I'm really excited to be part of this. And we've seen a massive growth in 2023 of membership, partly because Lance is so helpful, and partly because the strategies really work really, really well. So I think that it's a combination of both the service being really, really high quality, really well priced, and also like just really like it works. So it really works. And so that's what ThetaTraderz is all about, selling options for premium. So I think with that, I want to turn it over to kind of Lance and just like, let's start talking about what we did last year in 2023. And I can also talk a little bit about like some of my results or some of the results of subscribers and why you guys might want to stick around and try and win a subscription for a lifetime for ThetaTraderz. Now that's worth $2,000. We have over 100 members paying that for lifetime subscription to everything in ThetaTraderz.com. And so let me just paste a link to ThetaTraderz just in case you guys don't see it on the screen here. I'm going to post it into the chat so you guys can go and visit the website. So it's www.ThetaTraderz with a Z because we're that cool. ThetaTraderz.com. ThetaTraderz.com. Hey, Mark, I see you commenting. I'm just posting this first. So there's the website. Make sure I put that right. So it's ThetaTraderz.com. And so this is one of the best sell-side services you'll ever find. I got really lucky finding Lance 2 years ago now, right, Lance?
Yeah, that's been a little over 2 years, I think, now.
Yeah, and so I take all the trades. We're going to show my real brokerage account in real time. We're going to log in and show you what I've done over the last 7 days in ThetaTraderz. And we're going to go through some testimonials, and I think you guys are going to be pretty happy. So, yeah, so Lance, do you want to introduce yourself, and then we can talk about the competition, and then we can get into the presentation really quick.
Sounds good. So, yeah, I'm Lance from ThetaTraderz.com. I have the link up on the description below. So I've been selling options for about 8-9 years now total, and I've been just trading over 20 years now, mostly buy and hold in the beginning. Then I noticed that around 8-9 years ago, I would sell covered calls on positions, which is a relatively conservative way to go. You already own 100 shares of stock, and then you're going to sell at a higher price than you normally bought the shares at for your cost basis to be lower. And that was a pretty consistent way to do this. Then I pretty much evolved into cash secured puts, which is pretty much the opposite of a covered call. You want to get into a lower price, and you want to get into a safer strike price, so you can take in premium that way. And then we've been doing futures about 2.5 or so years. I've been paper trading it a bit beforehand. I paper trade a lot of different strategies before actually sending it out to our group. And then we've been just rolling really well. And 2023 was exceeding our expectations. I typically look for 2 to 2.5% a month on my growth of my account. And there are some months that we got a little below that, but there were some months we did quite quite a bit better than that. And we ended up averaging, I think it was 3.7% a month. So I'm going to briefly go over some of the different strategies that we actually did to reach those results. I think, Russell, I think you're muted there. You're probably talking but muted.
Sorry, I did, because I have a baby crying in the background.
Sorry.
So basically, guys, this is fantastic. You guys are asking some great questions. I see you, Mark Sanchez. I see you saying hello, Polly, from Baton Rouge. I see you, Michael. The thing we would like to do tonight, though, is before we get started, I want people that are here and engaged like you guys are to have the potential, if you're not already in ThetaTraderz, to win a lifetime subscription to every single service. It's like 10 services in one. It's ridiculously good value. I want you guys to be able to win this if you're not already in it. So unfortunately, you guys have already paid. This is only for non-subscribers. So what we're going to do is something that really no other services do, and I think it's something people should do more of. And Lance is like the advocate of this, and he was the main brains behind this idea. He says, like, why don't we do a random number generator? And we did this back in like November, right, for Black Friday, where we said, hey, let's random generate a number between 1 and 10,000 and have everybody who attends the webinar post a number, or actually it's email me the number that they think that it is, try and get as close to that number as possible. And so we did that last time with huge success, and we had a winner, and I think he's gone on and had great results. Have you talked to him? I haven't really had any contact with him.
Yeah, we communicated quite a bit right after he signed up, and he's been starting to do our strategies. There's so many different strategies that we do with the lifetime membership, so it could take a couple months before he gets acclimated to everything, but it seems like we get the ball rolling.
Okay, so Mark, don't post the number there. What you need to do is to email it, and this is to everybody. Yeah, this is like a prize draw lottery. John P is saying, I'd like to enter the prize draw lottery. I'd subscribe to one of Lance's services, but not all. All right, so here's the caveat. If you don't want them all and you win the lottery here tonight, then that's fine. We'll just mute the other channels. And just pick the one that you want to be part of. We're offering them all as part of this lottery draw, but you can just mute the rest of them if you want to. So it's no big deal. So 6 days. All right. So here's what you guys need to do. And you're here early, and we're going to announce the winner in probably like half an hour, 45 minutes or so. We want to do a presentation as well. So here is what you need to do. You need to email Stock Alerts Reviewed. Stock Alerts Reviewed. I'm typing it into the chat in a moment. So Stock Alerts Reviewed at Proton Mail. And I'm not trying to hide anything being a Proton Mail. I'm not like some crazy person who's like hiding behind a Proton Mail. I just picked it randomly. So Stock Alerts Reviewed at protonmail.com is my email address. If you email me that, if you email me your guess, so guess between 1 and 10,000, and whoever becomes like closest to that number that Lance is auto-generating, I'm assuming you're doing that now, right, Lance? I hope you are.
Yeah, I'm going to do it live with you guys, and you're going to see it. We're not doing any funny business here.
Oh, so you're going to auto-generate number after all the guesses come in?
Yes.
Okay, and we'll screenshot that. That sounds good. That sounds like a good way to do it. So if you email stockalertsreviewed at protonmail.com, it's in the chat. And this is only for the people that are attending the live, which is all you guys, but obviously in the future, it could be other people. We don't know. Then you have a chance of winning this lifetime subscription. It's worth $2,000. We have a lot of people who are really happy at that price as well. So I think you'll be extremely, extremely happy. So good. All right. So let's get going. Let's start. So the plan tonight is that Lance has prepared a presentation basically talking about all of ThetaTraderz, basically all of the different parts of ThetaTraderz and the results from last year. So a lot of services will just cherry pick like particular results. Like they'll send you emails where they say, hey, oh, we made 100% on this. And then they'll forget to mention the 100% loss on the next one. Lance is different, super transparent. And basically he plots every single trade that he took, exits, everything. We have spreadsheets. We have all the data that you would ever want to see. And we're hoping to go through that with you guys tonight. Does that sound good to you? Because I think that's the best way to do things.
Sounds good for me. I guess you're asking other.
Yeah, and hopefully it sounds good to people, because people should be looking for data and they should be looking for this type of stuff. And that's why I like working with you, Lance, so much. So I'm hoping that that's what people are looking for tonight as well. Not just cherry-picked winners, but detailed analysis. And then at the end, we're going to talk about the guy who was able to pay for his Cancun vacation with the recent profits from just one of the strategies that Lance uses. So we're going to show his comments and his stuff in real time in the Discord that's not made up or anything like that, no nonsense. And then we can look at my brokerage if we have time, or if you guys want to, and I can show you what I've been doing and how much I've made, which is about $1,300 over the last week, just in a flat market, essentially a market that dipped and then went straight back up, using just a handful of the different strategies that Lance talks about, and how diversification basically has helped me do that. So you want to launch? You want to get going, Lance? Let's
let's get going there.
And I'll keep an eye on my email as we go.
All right, we get an entire screen here. If you notice on the chat room, I left the spreadsheet here on the description. If you guys can see that, can you guys see my screen right now? Russell,
I just shared it and maximized it. So, and I can put links if people want in the description for this stuff as well.
Right. So here are the different trades that I have, and in the description you see a link here. I'm obviously not going to have time to go over every single trade with every single strategy, so we're going to look at some of the big picture numbers on these main strategies here. But feel free to double check these, back test it, see how we did on it. Also, if you notice on this tab a little bit later, I'm going to go to this random number generator, and we will post the random number. Okay, and we're done with the quick presentation. I already have it set up from 1 to 10,000. I'll just click the generate. Okay, so let's look at some of the results from 2023. Let's see right there. All right, so there's been a lot of mathematically proven edges that I use with a lot of the trades I do. So I am a science teacher, if you're not aware, and I do a lot of back testing, a lot of testing on paper to see trades that would be statistically significant to have that positive expectancy. Now that's one of the keys to be making very consistent passive profits. And then we do this with back tested entries. I also help with one-on-one guidance, and I show every single trade I do, very transparent, because I want people to understand the journey that I follow. And then a lot of people will just follow similar trades than I do. Okay. Now, some people will haphazardly make trades. You might put in a trade because it looks good at first. You're not necessarily sure when you're supposed to exit it, or you keep a losing trade and you just want to think, oh, it's going to bounce back. Those are the type of things that we don't do. We will look for specific entry and exit points. We have specific 3x stop losses on certain trades. We actually have a 5x stop loss on a different type of strategy. And then we're sure before we do the trades exactly where we're either going to take our profit and where we're going to stop out on it. This has been shown to give those consistent long-term profits. So we're going to see how I earned between 2 to 5% in every single strategy I did last year. It doesn't take much time either, literally a few minutes of times, a few times a week. I could do these in about a minute at this point. People that are just joining into the group, it'll take them a few minutes to get that. But as you'll see, it's pretty straightforward. So one of the main things I do want to mention is we don't know what's going to happen with the stock market in the future. There's plenty of ways that you could profit. You could buy options, assume that they go up. Then if they go up, you close them for a profit. You could sell options. There'll be a higher % chance that you'll work out. However, you won't make as much as buying options. But I think that traders do take a lot of emotion, and they'll stay in these bad trades too long. Or they might have a losing trade, they get out of that, but then I'm going to make it up and I'm going to do 2 or 3 more trades because I can't have that losing day. Things like that will significantly hurt results in general because then you're starting to have emotion into the plays. I actually did lose on a trade today, and it was a fairly significant loss, but I did not overtrade. I did not make a new trade just because that happened. Okay, have very specific plans that will get the results that I need. So let's look at credit spreads. This is one of the main trades that I do for stocks every day at 12:30 Central Standard Time, so lunchtime. I'm going to do a put credit spread. that is typically about 25 to 45 days out in time. So you have plenty of time to get to these trades if you wanted to. If you're not free that day, you could take them the next day. Like the trade I did today, you could easily take tomorrow morning and then still get very similar prices. You don't have to be glued to your computer to do any of the trades that I do. So here, out of all the trades I did, it was 265 trades last year. The average return per trade, this means the average winner and the average loser. So I'm taking every single trade, winners and losers. It was 2.18% in the trade, and it was only 12.2 days on average in the trade. So just imagine you'd have a $10,000 account and you're just doing this. You would get your 2.18% off the 10,000 on average, of course. You'll have some winners and losers. And then 12.2 days later, on average, you'll be out of the trades, and then you have your funds back. You could add in more and more. Win rate, we look for at least an 85% win rate. We actually hit a bit higher, a 90% win rate. So imagine, again, 9 out of 10 trades are making more than this 2.1, on average about 3.5%, 4%. And then the losers, you could lose about 6 to 8% in most cases on a stop loss. However, with that high win rate, you're going to be at a positive expectancy. This was every single trade, as you see in the year. A large amount of positives here. You do have the occasional stop losses, but these are minimized, and we're going to get out before it gets really bad. So obviously, if you're taking in all these trades, you're getting a lot of winners. The occasional loser will lower the return, but you still have that positive about 2% expectancy. Some credit spread thoughts. Again, we look for around 0.08 to 0.12 delta when we're selling our puts. That shows like a good sweet spot between getting a kind of win rate and also getting a good enough return. We've been closing trades between 3 to 5% on the net positive. So again, if you're winning 90% at 3 to 5%, the other 10% you might be stopping out, 6 to 10%. You're still going to be making at least at 2.5% per trade. The stop out at the alert prices, I give alert prices every time when we're doing a trade. So we're not going to hit a max loss scenario in any of these trades. We want to make sure we still have our essentially ammo and skin in the game in order to make more trades. Okay. Next strategy was the covered strangles. It was actually the best strategy I did all year last year. Every trade only takes about $3,000 to do. Most trades could actually take less than that. 3,000 is a relatively conservative number. And then from that, just recycling the 3,000 over and over, it over doubled our money, and we made $3,518. So that doesn't include the original $3,000. We were only assigned twice this year in 2023. It was a pretty bullish year. There were a few downturns, I think, in April, and there was another one in around July where we actually got assigned. But we were able to get out of that particular trade in 1 and 2 weeks in those 2 assignments at a really good profit. This shows really consistent returns off the individual trades. So I'm looking for these typically around $50 to $100 per trade. We're typically in the trade only about usually 15 to 20 days or so. So just keep recycling in those $50 to $100 gains that could add up over a long period of time. I'm going to leave it up for any questions. Russell, you want to start answering them out? And I see a few coming up on the chat right now.
Yeah, we can do some questions. Thanks, guys, for all your guesses. I'm seeing them coming into my email. My email's completely swamped at the moment, just guessing after, guesses after guesses. Not too surprising, really. So do you want me to pull them up? Let's put them on the screen.
I see Mark. Yeah, I see Mark wrote, can I do this with ES, XSP, SPX? That's exactly how we do our covered strangles. I use MES, and you could easily use ES, SPX if you want to go a little bit larger in your account size for it. So I primarily do other strategies, but I'm willing to use up to $3,000 on the covered strangle. So yeah, you don't have to worry about early assignment. You do get assigned, especially if you get below that strike price, but we're okay with it with the strategy. Mike is asking exactly what is a covered strangle. I do have some videos based on that. Essentially, it's when you have 100 shares of stock or 1 contract, and then you sell a call against it, very similar to a covered call. But then you also sell a naked or cash secured put along with it. And you're perfectly okay getting 200 shares or 2 contracts.
Yeah, and this is part of the problem with talking about ThetaTraderz is it really is 10 services in one. So you'll have strangles, you'll have covered strangles, you'll have MES, you'll have ES, you'll have all this stuff. So it really is a different service from anything I've ever come across before. So it's pretty exciting stuff. Another quick question is, how do we pick securities? We're not really doing securities too much. So
in the futures account, I pretty much only use ES or MES, and then the different commodities like gold, oil. For individual stocks and the credit spreads, I do pick the securities there. It's based on RSI, different recent support levels. Am I getting enough premium moving averages? There's quite a bit there, so I can't really give a quick answer to that.
Yeah, and it's worth pointing out that my experience has been working with Lance. He's taught me how to trade the futures, and so I'm really futures biased. And some people are put off by futures options and that type of thing. And I was for over a decade of my trading career, and realized that I was really stupid to avoid it. So I'm very futures biased, but don't forget that there is a ton of actual stocks and things, stock options that are traded in ThetaTraderz. Anyway, let's quickly work through some of these other questions before we move on. David, hey David, how's it going? He says, how do you work around a pattern day trader? There is no, these are swing trades, they're not day trades. So
yeah, for futures, you don't have to worry about it at all anyway, because it doesn't count as a day trade. For stocks, you would have to you can't do more than 3 0 DTEs. But we're looking at longer dated trades anyway. You're not going to be getting in and out the same day.
Yeah, the service has 0 DTE SPX trades, but it also has a ton of swing trade and other trades. So really, this is not a day trading service, really. Yeah.
All right. Keith, what if I get assigned, unable to get out due to prices continuing to decline? I have specific stop out rules for that if it does happen. So I can't really give a quick answer to that, but it is based on how much you're willing to lose as a % of your total account. And that's with the covered strangles. Tyrone wrote, what broker do I recommend? I use Tasty Trade, and I can send you a link and show you exactly how to sign up for that so you could get all the futures options. There's a quick application you need to do. You could also use Thinkorswim. Tasty Trade is slightly better in my regard because the commissions are a little bit less, but either one is adequate.
Mark said no 0 DTE. Sorry. If you go to the website, ThetaTraderz.com, you'll see that there is 0 DTE trades on SPX every day. So if you want to trade that, then you do have to worry about the pattern day trade rule, right? That's the
if you did, we do 0 DTE every day besides when Jerome Powell talks. So in those, you would have to be aware of pattern day trader rules. But as long as you have no more than 3 in a week, that should be fine. All right, we're going to keep moving here. I'll get some of the other questions later.
Sounds good.
So if you've taken trades with no rhyme or reason, it's not necessarily your fault. You need to have that systematic mechanical trading plan that could help you understand exactly when to get in and when to get out. So been doing a lot of back testing. Breakthrough Management System provides that blueprint and a map for reaching your specific goals. So when you're looking at a blueprint for a house, it'll tell you exactly what, piece of wood and nails and whatnot that you need on it. I'm showing you in my detailed strategy guides exactly what I look for. It may not be exactly what you're looking for, but as you'll see in all the results that I get, it works to reach my own goals. Okay. Now, many indicators will give trades for people, Algo Pro and Lux Algo and all that. And there's nothing wrong with those indicators, but a lot of ways that people make these trades is they just blindly follow it and then they just hope that it works out, right? It doesn't necessarily need to be that way. The trading plan that I want to make sure it's really simple for people. It only takes a few minutes, a few times a week, and anyone can get started. We've had some beginners the last few months literally just get the ball rolling within a week or so. So it's not really that hard to do. So get a few other strategies. So naked puts, this is part of the consistent passive profits trades. Average return there is 2.89% per trade. And the average DTE was, I think, 26.8 something, 26 and a half or so days out. This is a very straightforward trade. It's one of the beginner trades that I recommend to people that are new to futures. You're just selling one trade once a week and just letting it expire. It's pretty much as straightforward as you could get. We've had no losers all of 2023 on this trade, and it literally takes about a minute to enter. So one time on Sunday around 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, just taking that one trade, takes a few minutes, and then that's it. Really straightforward strategy. This is how Russell, if you want to add a little bit on that, this is how you got started on being really interested in this stuff, right?
Yeah, that's right. So I never sold futures. I never bought a futures contract, never did anything with futures whatsoever until Lance introduced me to them. And I haven't lost a single trade in God knows how long, since I started in June last year. And just steady free money, it feels like. It's fantastic. Just sell really far out the money. The fact that they have the span margin, and you have the fact that the deltas can be so low that you win all of them. It's ridiculous. It's really, really good. So I'm a huge fan.
This next slide actually answers Mark Sanchez's question. He's saying naked puts, lots of margin needed. It does use a decent amount of margin, but in futures it uses span margin, which is similar than portfolio margin for stocks. And I have detailed strategy guides exactly on how much that you could trade based on that. You don't want to over leverage your account. So didn't need to roll or manage any of these trades. Being able to stagger your funds helps with the margin requirements, because as you do one trade and then when that one closes, you have your funds for the new one. I go over exact strategy guides on how much to allocate per trade that you do, so that you know that you're not going to be too stressed out based on margin requirements. All right, so talked to many people recently that want to change how they trade. I think your daughter, Russell, too, might want to change on how they trade, right? So starting on the 2024, you want to have that proven system that guide you, and that's one of the systems that I have as well. I've tried many different systems. I've even tried selling on meme stocks, which sometimes worked, sometimes it didn't. If you look back in our channels from a few years ago, we had a few horror stories on some stocks that were memes that didn't do well. I've tried pretty much every technical indicator you can imagine, and I still use some technical indicators as part of my trading plan. But using that scientific process determines if these systems work. And based on the data set and number of trades that I have, I've backtested and developed it. I'm very confident that they will work in all market conditions. We have a lot of hedging strategies as well for the black swan events. This is another trade that you might say is probably the most popular of all the trades that we do, the safeguard trade. This is where we actually have a built-in hedge where if the market goes down a decent amount, we actually can make more on the trade than before. And this has been a really good profitable trade as well. You can see making about 70% on average. Excuse me. Safeguard thoughts. I'm looking into more rolling, possibly the PDS, but in most cases, I'm not necessarily going to do that. Excuse me. Can you guys still hear me over there?
I can still hear you fine. Can you hear the baby in the background here, or is it?
Yeah, I heard the baby. Let me answer a few more quick questions I see. Can I do these in the IRA? Yes, we could do these in the IRAs and Roth IRAs. The margin requirement's a little bit different, but I do go over how to allocate that properly. Let's see. Anyone use Robinhood for these trades? You could use Robinhood in the stock-based trades. You cannot use those in the futures, though. Excuse me. I think that's all the questions right now. Russell, do you want to pitch in with anything?
Yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out what to do with my screaming 4-month-year-old. I'm wondering if we should bring her on the webinar. Maybe she'll appreciate some of this stuff. Let me see. So just looking through the questions here. So Mark, naked puts, a lot of margin needed for each contract, I think. So it's actually pretty good. I've been pretty surprised. You can do one MES for $500. You want to keep some in cash, like $500 in cash. just for like the way the margin changes, the span margin changes as the market changes. But yeah, it's a very low barrier to entry with TastyTraderz at least, so that's good. Jeremy's asking, does anyone use Robinhood for these trades? I've never used Robinhood for these trades. Have you, Lance? Or have you ever heard of people using Robinhood for these? Lance, I can't hear you. I think you might be muted.
Can you hear it now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, my microphone was doing weird button thing. All right. Yeah, sorry. On Robinhood, you could do the stock-based trades, but you can't do the futures trades because they don't allow it in that brokerage. So put credit spread 0 DTE, that's fine on Robinhood. But if you want to do futures, you want to do it on Thinkorswim or TastyTrade.
The usual IRA questions coming up from David C. Can you do these in an IRA? A lot of people want to do these in IRAs, and you're slowly becoming an expert in that, right? Like whether you can do them in Roths or whatever.
You can do them in IRAs, yes. Aaron says for spreads, Robinhood, you're assigned in one leg. Yeah, that we don't let that happen on trades that we do for credit spreads. We get out of the trade well before that. So other traders and other alert services might go much more riskier on those type of trades, but we make sure that we get out before any of that would happen. And we haven't got assigned on any put credit spread since I've started the service. So that is something that you're probably looking at a little bit closer delta, higher deltas closer to the money. So those are things that might actually happen at some point. Real quick before we do our drawings, so people will know what you might win if you are the winner. And if you are not the winner, we're going to give you guys a really good discount on ThetaTraderz. So you'll receive one-on-one help from me. We'll help monitor your plan once you understand all the strategies we do. We have small group sessions. I just did one last night for beginners, just looking at how to actually enter in trades. And we could deep dive into specific aspects. So we'll do a session on coverage triangle, session on spreads, session on naked puts and futures and whatnot. I do have a quick start guide, so beginners can start right away on the trades. You'll see my detailed and easy to follow trading plan, which I'll also help develop your trading plan. That typically takes a few months once you understand how each strategy works and how it suits your risk tolerance. And then again, you'll see all the trades I do in real time. I'm not only doing these alerts for myself, I want to be able to teach others the reasons why I do these alerts, how I manage, how much accounts I have, and whatnot. So again, as Mike Tyson said, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Let me tell you, I've been there. I've been punched in the face before selling on meme stocks. With my wealth of experience in these trenches, I know what it takes to roll those punches and come out on top. Again, you're going to have losses in any type of strategy you do. No one's going to be 100% in every single trade. It's how you deal with it, how you manage your allocations and your money, and being able to get back up when Mike Tyson punches you in the face. All right, so Russell, at this point, we're going to be doing the drawing for the random number generator.
Awesome, yeah. So a few points here. I'm going to put my screen up here. So first of all, whoever this guy is, that is not fooling me. Like sending me that number of emails with different numbers is not going to work. So you're immediately excluded, whoever you are. And, you know, honestly, with that mentality and that type of nonsense, don't think about joining ThetaTraderz. We'll immediately ban you because this is just nonsense. I mean, do you agree, Lance? I mean, who does this?
I see about like 10 emails of the same exact one, right?
Right. That's exactly what the opposite of what ThetaTraderz stands for. We don't stand for nonsense like this. So you're immediately being blocked, deleted, and you're not going to win tonight. So you can leave right now.
Guys, the reason why we're doing this is I want to give back to the community, give back to others. I'm very fortunate and very thankful for all the current ThetaTraderz members for allowing me to do this and have a really successful side job, side business that's helping me reach my goals as well. So I want to give back and give a free membership to someone. I also do investing club at my own high school for free. I'm just helping high school students out. I donate a lot of my money as well. So appreciate when people give the support, but also don't try to game the system here and send 50 numbers with the exact same email address. Those aren't the kind of people we would want anyway, right? All right. Russell, are you ready for the number?
I'm trying, yeah. I'm just deleting all that nonsense. So now I'm down to these other emails. Let me just hold on. Let me mute my.
All right. Just gonna wait. It sounds like Russell's daughter is wanting her daddy here.
So she wants her ball right now, of course, of all timings. So just give me a few minutes. Maybe you guys have some questions for Lance, and I'll be back in a second. Okay?
Okay, Russell, if you can just quickly let me know, are you ready to get the number? And then I could go over some
I'll message you the number once I go through the emails in a second, okay? I don't want people's emails displayed on there. So I'm going to go through and message you the number for the winner of the thing, okay?
You want to be on my screen, though, not your screen, because I'm going to show it.
Private message me the number, or are you gonna put up the number from the random generator, and then we'll go from there?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the random number now. All right.
Okay.
And then
so then people can feel like we're not cheating them at least. So yeah. So if you share your screen, and then I'll Okay.
All right. Ready? I don't know if I'm on shared screen or not. If you want to look, because I already clicked it, but you have to click your end there.
I need to get a ball for this crazy little daughter of mine. So I'll be back in a sec, guys. Sorry about this.
All right. Well, Russell was able to. I think he let me share my screen, but I can't actually show the screen there. I think he left like right before the end there. So, yeah, because Russell didn't actually change it there. I think he's having issues with his daughter right now. So if you guys have any other quick questions, at least right now, while I wait until he's ready. Oh, there we go, Russell. Can you see my screen now? Can you guys see it?
Yeah. Okay. So
we're waiting for you to do that. All right. Ready? And 3, 2, 1. I just went to random.org, and here is the digits. If you send an email now, it is too late.
Yeah, so 9,000. So 4376. So let's see who won.
All right, this might take Russell a little time to figure out here. So I'm going to give him a few minutes. If you email 4376 right now, you did not win because you already just heard the number. So we're looking, he's going to spend a few minutes looking at those previous numbers. While we're waiting, I just want to show a few quick testimonials here from current members. Again, Russell will figure it out when he lets us know. He'll post it. So this one member had no knowledge of options. It's quickly to learn this. Thanks to me, I'm the Theta Trader, and well-documented list of resources. I'm always willing to help and always reply to any questions I have in that timely manner. I let my real money equity curve results speak for itself. I laid out detailed trading plans that are easy to understand and implement, answered all my questions, and most importantly, was having planned for those possible scenarios. This was a different member's actual results that he got. He was doing MES puts, learning on a smaller account. Then he went into ES naked puts, and then about 6 months ago, he started with the ES 112 trades. This was one from Cancun's literally today. So the screenshot from Alfred said a picture tells the success story when doing his 112 profits, escaped that 18-degree Denver weather, and he went to 81-degree sun and sand in Cancun, Mexico. This is why he does the trades that we offer. So at this point, I'm going to be leaving it up for questions until Russell's ready to show who the winner is.
Yeah.
So
That guy who we called out is still spamming me with emails, so I'm having to block his email. Like, it's just non-stop spam. So it looks like Lance just dropped out. That's not good. Hopefully he comes back soon. So yeah, so wherever you are that's watching this that's spamming my email with these numbers, it's ridiculous. You've been an idiot. I'm going to block you immediately right now and find the real winner of this competition. So bear with me. It'll take me some time here just to find it. But yeah, so let's see. Also, I'm going to show some of my real brokerage accounts as well in a second as well. Just add Lance back here. But give me a few minutes just to get the winner for the competition first. Hey, Lance, welcome back.
I always click leave studio instead of unshare screen by mistake. I always press the wrong one.
I was just saying this imbecile is spamming me nonstop. You know that guy I was showing you with the numbers? It's like some bot or something crazy. I don't know if you're still listening, whoever joined admax at AOL.com is, but you're definitely getting blocked because it's causing me a lot of problems trying to find the real winner of this competition. So block messages from the sender. So sender has been blocked. Okay. So delete.
Keep looking, Russell. I'm just going to read out some of the questions that I saw from before.
All right, go for it.
Arun said those spreads, especially if one leg screws your strategy when legs go deep in the money. You're right on that. We want to make sure that we go really far out of the money. So one of the trades we did recently, it was on NVIDIA. NVIDIA was at like 520, and we sold the put at 440. So we're really far out of the money, and we're going to get out anywhere close it gets to that price. Mark Sanchez, high participant strategies, mostly breakout, trend following on pullbacks, direction independent, waiting in the clock. Yeah, that's somewhat what we do, although probably overthinking a few of those strategies in terms of doing pullbacks and directions. That is some of what I look for, though. And then I'm just looking at a lot of different messages about the numbers. Jeremy, we're both in Central Time Zone. Numbers.
I know, just trying to get people whittled down here. There's people in the 400s. They're all unfortunately not going to make it. So yeah, I got a lot of emails tonight, guys. Like, I'm still trying to get there. 9:22 was still within the time zone. All right, what was the number again, Lance? What was the
4376?
4376. So I can tell you people that are close is Joseph Neilhouse. He's at 4875. That's the closest I'm seeing right now, but I'm still going through each one. There's a lot in here.
It's based on the emails, not comments that you might have left after I said the number.
Right.
We're not going to take those if you said, oh, yeah, I'm going to pick a number 3 away from it right after I heard it. It's not going to work that way, guys.
This is harder than it looks when you get like this number of emails. Let me see. So Keith is at 3653. Michael is at 3745. So both getting closer. So this is going to take some time. One thing we could do here, we could do is we could go through the last part of the presentation here, and then I can email the winner in the morning or later on tonight once I go through it all, rather than you guys just sitting watching me or listening to me going through like numbers. That might be the easiest thing to do and probably the more fun thing.
We'll know on the backlog. Do you remember the exact time I actually said the number out? It was about 10 minutes ago or so. So just be aware of that.
Yeah. So Aaron, you're not the closest. Unfortunately, Aaron's saying 3961. There's people that are closer, unfortunately, but you're getting there. You're getting there. Honestly, we just buy a subscription. We do various subscriptions if you go to the website, but we're also doing some discounts tonight as well, which is part of the reason for doing the presentation, right? So we have some of the Black Friday deals that Lance did last November back in full force. And so you might want to, because not everybody's going to win this. I think there's some close guesses, but a lot of you guys are going to be having to purchase by yourselves, which is not the end of the world, because this is one of the best deals I've ever come across over a decade of trading and reviewing trading services. So I would definitely check out the Black Friday deals, which we just reposted on Lance's website. And so do you have that link handy, or do you want me to post it? I have it somewhere.
I can put it in the chat. You gotta give me a minute. Yeah, so we're gonna do the Black Friday deals that we offered right after Thanksgiving, and there I could leave you the link for all of them. We're gonna leave a significant discount if you pay in one payment over paying in monthly payments, because this shows that you're a little bit more committed. We're willing to take an even bigger discount than the discount we do have in order to do that. So I'm gonna post the link in the chat if it lets me. Sometimes it blocks me because I'm not on your YouTube channel. So
yeah, I have it too somewhere. I just haven't got it up right now, and I've been so distracted with crazy screaming daughter that I can post it. So Aaron makes a good point. He says, "Yes, please, Lance. Please break down beyond 4 payments with the signed contract." We're happy to do that. We want you guys to be making money on top of what you pay. So if you're paying $100 a month, we want you making $200 a month. You know, a lot of services don't really care. Like they want $1,000 or 10,000, or well, not 10, but 3,000 up front. Like we want you to be happy with what you get. The thing is, we do want you guys signing a contract that says we will actually make these 4 payments, because we do get a lot of chancers who say, "Hey, I'll pay this," and then they do 1 payment, and then they decline the next payment, and you're like, "Why?" And they're like, "Oh, I just want to try something else." It's like, but it's good, it's working, you made money, whatever. So we've been advised legally to start having people sign contracts on this, and I think it's a sensible thing to do overall as well. So
right, I'm seeing a few other questions here. Some people are asking about Jason Bond's small account challenge for credit spreads. Yes, technically it's the same strategy, but just because you have the same strategy doesn't mean that you're actually going to follow it in similar ways. The actual methodology of how we place our trades and where we do is drastically different. So it's like I could get to, I live in San Antonio. I could get to Austin with a Porsche, or I could get there with a Toyota, and both cars could still work. The Porsche might get wrecked and you could lose a lot of money, while my Toyota will be more dependable and get there more frequently. So it really depends on the different situations that you're in there. It's not just like one size fits all for that particular trade. I'm saying, yeah. Mark, right? I'm also saying, Mark, what strategy might align with someone with good support resistant levels on like Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA? Yeah, the Bookmap. Sounds like you're more into the buy side and more into scalping, finding the support, buying into it. I could help you with different option selling techniques where even if you're slightly wrong on that direction, you could still win out on the trade. So I'd look into credit spreads, cat secured puts or naked puts, and other different vehicles like that. So that's still a possibility based on how you're trading. Yep, the cop will pull us over for the Porsche too, right? It's going too quick sometimes.
Do you guys want to see my trading account, or did you show them?
Yeah, Russell, why don't you show some of the trades you've been doing?
Yeah, so we can look at my trading account, because it's always good to see like a real lifetime show, because like a lot of these guys won't even show track records. They won't show like anything like whatsoever. And if they do, it's usually cherry-picked trades or whatnot. But I can show you guys my trading account. I can show you the success people that have had in ThetaTraderz, including the Cancun guy and others. I'm assuming they're all okay with it being public, given that they posted in public Discord channels. So let's have a look. Let's go and check out some things. So the first thing I want to point out is this is the market for 2024. Basically, we've had a dip and then a recovery back up. So really nothing interesting has happened in terms of like overall, it's like not a bull market, right? It's like a sideways market with a bit of a dip. And so I wanted to show you that because I really have done nothing this year. I've been really lazy. I've had a lot on my plate. And this is my ThetaTraderz account. Hopefully you guys can see it. Tasty doesn't have any paper trading, so there's no chance that this is any sort of fraud or nonsense or anything else that goes on. Can you guys see the ThetaTraderz account here? $1,290 profit loss year to date. I've really done nothing. It's a relatively small account for this style of trading. And so it's been fantastic. I've just been sitting there waiting and using Theta as a way to make money. And you can see some of the different trades here. So these are different tickers for you guys familiar or, well, not familiar with options on futures. This is oil. So I've got some oil trades here. So CL and CL, J4 and H4, just different parts of the oil options chain. ES is the main market, so got a higher than 99.5% chance of winning these particular trades from Lance on ES. GC is gold, so we do some gold. So you think about it, you've got oil, and then the market, the main market, as you know, and then gold, and then some of the micros or minis. I always get confused with the micro, mini, micro, extra, micro, mini type stuff. And then this one here, you might see is bright red. That's actually a hedge that I put on. So I've taken off the main winning part of this and left the hedge on just in case the market tanks. So like we're very careful in ThetaTraderz to leave hedges that are already like, at their maximum loss. You never know. Maybe the market will tank 500 or 1,000 points or something, and this will become a positive thing. Otherwise, I'll just let this expire worthless. The rest of the stuff is progressing just as I hoped, despite the market basically going sideways in 2024. So, I mean, that's pretty cool, right? I mean, it's like I've basically spent 3 minutes a week doing this, and that's $1,200 since the 2nd of January, since the market started trading in 2024. It's not like, Maserati, Lamborghini money, but neither is the amount of money I have in here. And I'm slowly increasing this because I think this is the way to go over the next few years. So hopefully that's inspirational to some of you. I know it's not life-changing money, but it's significant amounts of money. I started this journey with Lance in, I think, July last year, and I was looking at $12,000 to put in there, or $8,000 or something, just to get some skin in the game. And the goal was just to make a car payment. The goal was just to, instead of paying cash for a car, is to actually make the money from investing into this style of trading, because it takes so little time and effort. And it's far surpassed that. I think we made over $9,000 last year. The car payment was significantly less than that, which was cool. And so this isn't something that's like a get-rich-quick scheme, but it's also something that compounds pretty fast, takes very little work, and has a super high probability of working, which I really love. So I've been really enjoying it.
Yep, and I think your goals will keep getting bigger and bigger. I think car payment is too low for you at this point because you're so sure of how well it works, right?
Yeah, it does, and our hope is to make a lot more than this coming year. Like we're going to keep putting more money, cash into here, and keep compounding and growing and going for these futures trades, because they're fantastic. They're really, really fantastic. Haven't lost a single trade. You can't include this hedge because it's a hedge, right? So I already took like $1,000 profit or something off of this trade and left the hedge on. So it looks like a loss, but it's not really a loss overall. It was part of a larger trade. So yeah.
Right. Getting a few questions coming in on the chat here. Mark asked you, Russell, what trading plan methodology is responsible for these results?
It's ThetaTraderz. So Lance has taught me to fish. So he does have some amazing alerts, and I take them. But I also pick my own trades as well. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? I've got some buying power. I'm going to actually go for like ES, and I'm going to go 15% out of the money, because I know it's not going to drop 15%. And Lance may have done, like, maybe he's got a slightly different philosophy for that particular week, but I'll do it sort of differently. But basically he's taught me how to fish, which not that some of these are identical to his trades. Some of them are different. Either way, it doesn't make much difference. So basically it's Lance's teachings that has helped me get there. So
right. A few other questions real quick. Can I automate this as a collective 2 strategy? I haven't seen a way to do that with futures trades, and I wouldn't want to anyway, because the whole point is to be able to understand your trading plan, follow your trading plan, and don't necessarily have a robot doing that for you. Kenny wrote, how do members get the stock alerts? As a teacher, concerned with my availability. So yes, I am pretty busy when I'm teaching throughout the day, but as other members will easily chime in, I'm very readily available. Between passing periods is when I frequently will answer questions. All during lunch, all after school, all before school. I'm very wide open to be giving these different helps out. And as Joseph has been asking a lot, he's a member of us. I'm very readily available. As for when to make the trades, I typically do it right before my first period class comes in or during lunch. And as you can see, you could easily be very successful with just a few minutes a day doing these type of trades.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And so the polls that I'm showing on the screen at the moment is from a Facebook group. So if you're not in the Facebook group, definitely come and join it. I'll put a link in the comments here. But you can see here, hopefully, maybe I need to zoom in, that when I did a poll about people that are in this service, and this is very, very unusual, not a single person said they hadn't found the service useful or profitable. I put as a joke, Lance is the greatest of all time, or GOAT, and everybody voted that, 68%, and 32% said yes, it's profitable. I wish I hadn't put this because it kind of diminishes the whole the whole thing a little bit.
I'm good with just yes.
That's what I should have put. I thought I was being funny putting Lance as the GOAT, and everybody voted that, which means obviously they're really enjoying your service and you in general. But I wish I just put yes and no, which I usually do, because it kind of confuses the system. But basically, I haven't come across anybody who's unhappy with the service at all. So, and the poll reflects, I think there's 25 votes here. So, not huge sample size, but 25 people that are members basically voted and said, like, to give you a perspective, when I put this for any other service, it's usually like 40-60 or 50-50. So the fact that everybody loves the person and the service involved, says it's useful and profitable, that's a huge deal. Did you show them the Cancun stuff yet, or like?
Yeah, I already did.
Yep. You showed them that, yeah. And have you given them the links to sign up?
Yeah, I'll post it again.
Yeah. And so you can always join the Facebook group as well, and Lance is in there. We talk all the time about this stuff, and I'll put the link for the Facebook group in there as well, so that you guys can join if you're not already in there, because it's a good place to kind of keep in touch base with other members and that kind of thing. So let me just post this link right here.
If anyone else has any other second question, we're at an hour into it now. Feel free to let us know right now. I'm going to leave my personal email as well if you have any individual questions. Russell will figure out the true winner based on non-cheating, obviously, and then he'll be contacting you guys as well on that.
Yeah, for sure. Don't worry if you made a guess. I'm going to go through carefully. I just got overwhelmed, especially with the new baby causing a fuss and stuff in the background. Normally, last time we did it, we did manage to do it during the presentation, but I will carefully go through it and make sure it matches up with the number generated by Lance. So yeah. Well, thanks guys for listening. I hope some of you guys join. I think you'll be surprised about how amazing the community is and how great Lance is. And I think it's one of the best things I've ever done is become involved with Lance and his service. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And let's just wait another minute or two for any other last questions. Thanks, Joseph. Joseph has been a beginner, but he's been with us for about 6 months, and he's really starting to understand a lot of what we're doing and why we do it. So you're a very valuable member to the group. Yes, Mark, I do chemistry, high school chemistry. I also have an intro to physics class. So I've taught biochemistry and physics through my now 19th year teaching. So long-time teacher. Where do the links for pricing go in the pricing section of the existing site? Now, Jeremy, you want to look at the link that I posted for the Black Friday deals. Those are a significant discount from the main page at ThetaTraderz.com. So if you go to that blog post that I left the link for, and Russell just sent it as well, there's significant discounts there. We're going to be running it, Russell, maybe until Sunday this week. or so, because at that point we're going to have a lot of members, and I want to make sure I give my full attention to the people that are here. So
Yeah,
good, Russell.
Totally. And that's something that I really appreciate about working with Lance is like when he says this is a limited time deal, it really is a limited time deal because he gives his individual attention. He'll jump on Zoom calls. He goes above and beyond anybody I've ever reviewed, and I've reviewed dozens and dozens and dozens of these types of services. And so the idea that this is like some sort of like, oh, it's a deadline to get you to buy isn't true in this case. We don't want thousands of subscribers because Lance wouldn't be able to help thousands of subscribers, and it would make his life and my life a total misery. So this is definitely something that it's not a fake like urgent thing that marketers use. It's a real deal. It's like, you know, let's get people in, but at a fair price, as fair as possible.
Exactly. So people could join ThetaTraderz at any time. We're making these deals because then we typically get much more members signing up because it is a really significant discount. I mean, you could save $500–600 off the normal rates. So obviously I'll take people as they come in, but we do these deals just so I know exactly like, okay, we have this smaller group of people that I could really focus my time on. And then a few just trickle in throughout the year anyway when we don't have these deals.
Yeah, so Aaron's asking, how do you teach people to fish? And I covered that during my little blurb about, you know, showing my tasty trades there. So he has taught me how to fish. I'm good friends with Lance now, and if I have an idea, and I might run it by him and say, hey, like, what do you think of this? Am I missing anything? And you know, a lot of the trades I take are different from what's alerted in the group. So he has taught me to fish. In fact, he's one of the few people I've ever been like a member of or associated with that was actually taught me their strategy, and I've been able to do completely independently to a point where I'm like, okay, like I know this is going to work just as well as if Lance had alerted it in this thing. And you know, I find myself every Sunday we do CPP, which is consistent passive profits, which is just the naked puts on the futures. I find myself doing a different trade, but based on his teachings, his philosophy, not necessarily because I want to make a bit more money, say, for example, like I might change the expiration, or I might change the number of contracts, or I might change something. So yeah, he's taught me how to fish, and that's, you know, the best I can do here.
Yep. A lot of the trades you did recently were trades that I probably would have taken myself if I had the proper buying power and it was part of my trading plan. So I've definitely seen a lot of improvement on where you're making your trades, Russell. So good job on that.
Yeah, so people are asking where are the deals. The deals are right here. So I'm going to post again the deals. These are Black Friday deals. These are the lowest prices we're going to ever offer these services for. Honestly, they're a bargain because of the access you get to Lance. Most people would ignore you if you were to email them or message them or want to Zoom call with them. And so you get the alerts, but you also get the mentoring, which is totally invaluable. And so we're not going to go any lower than the deals that are on that site that I just posted in the chat, just because of that. It would be ridiculous because Lance would have to like stay up all night every night and give up his life basically. So those are the best deals you'll ever find. We're never going to go lower. In fact, most likely going to go higher slowly over time. It's already kind of absurd. I see people charging $3,000, $2,500, $3,000, $5,000. One guy I'm not quite in a battle with, but I did a video about it. He does far less than Lance does. He charges $3,600 a year, and he's widely considered to be a scam artist. And people are complaining to me nonstop on my YouTube channel about this guy. And I'm just sitting there going, Lance is the real deal. He has 10 times that value, and yet he's charging a fraction of the price. So we're not going any lower than those deals on that site.
Yep. Any other last questions? We're probably going to end it in a few minutes.
You don't need to go full time. Full time is nonsense. So full time trading, then you did something wrong, right? if you have 10 screens and you're spending 9 hours a day or 7 hours a day, right, I honestly think you're doing something wrong. When you say full time, I think you can make a full time income trading without actually spending anything close to full time trading hours. So
I I have a about $60,000 futures account. I'm going to be netting at least half of my teacher pay doing this stuff for a few minutes a day. And then in a few years from now, it'll probably equal the teacher pay. But I'm still going to be a teacher, and I don't need to do this all day anyway. My wife said I can't retire anytime soon because if I do, I'll get dementia and be bored of my life because these trades are too easy to do anyway.
Okay, cool. So is there anything else? You guys can always email me or Lance. Lance's contact details are at ThetaTraderz.com. So the website is up on the screen right now. Stock alerts reviewed at protonmail.com is me. And you guys are in the Facebook group, the Discord, so you can always reach out. I will send out an email tomorrow announcing the winner of the lifetime subscription for tonight once I recover.
Right. Oh, last question for Kenny, and this is a good one. If you join any of the individual services like Just Safeguard or Just Consistent Passive Profits and you want to upgrade to Life, we will use what you pay as a credit. We want to be very fair about that and not try to nickel and dime you for every single fee. So if you paid one thing and then you want to upgrade for Life, we're going to use what you paid already. We want to be very fair about it.
Yeah, and I've never seen anybody else do that either. Like usually you buy the front end program and then you buy the back end program, and that's something that really good.
I personally can't stand that stuff, so we don't do that. We want to make sure we're very fair.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks very much for coming and listening and talking to us, and I really hope you win this free subscription for the Lifetime ThetaTraderz. I'll do a mass email, so if you're not on my email list, hopefully you see it. If you don't see it, I'll also email you personally, just to make sure that you know that you've won. So I'll do that by 10 a.m. Central Time tomorrow, okay? So that you'll know whether you've won or not. I know there's a few people that are pretty close.
Sounds good, everybody. Thanks for joining in. We'll keep these offers until Sunday this week. And feel free to email me or Russell any questions you have. That's about it.
Sounds good. Hope you guys have a good night, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Yeah, have a good night, everybody.